Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Today we're going to be doing a game called Cemetery Mary. You can find it on itch.io, and I believe it is actually on Steam now as well, which is really exciting. But we haven't done one of the little story games in a while, like just straight story games. And this is actually by Arcade Kitten. And we've done one of their games before. We did It's Not Me, It's My Basement. And I really enjoyed that. You guys really enjoyed it. So I figured why not give Arcade Kitten's other games a try as well. So that is actually what we'll be doing today. Let's just get right to it. So here is your guys' warning about the stuff that is in the game. Go ahead and take a moment to read. If it's not something that you would like to take part of for this week, that is okay. I understand. And I would love to have you back next week for our, well, not, well, next episode, which is Sunday, which is going to be the survival game. But with all of that in mind, you have been warned about the content that is in the game. I have never been to a funeral that I didn't enjoy. That is until very recently, and I wasn't quite sure how to feel. It was a beautiful service, and one they certainly deserved, if only it had come later in their lifetime, and maybe it could have been prevented. If there wasn't a murderer in my city, that's what everyone's been saying, anyways. The Blackwood Butcher, that's what they called them, at least. It was hard not to overhear the rumors people said about them. I heard they strike at night. I heard they only target one person at a time and don't stop until they're dead. I heard it's a ghost blindly seeking revenge. I don't believe in any of that, at least not at first. But my parents did, and because of that, they didn't like me going off to the cemetery alone, staying until it's closed, walking home by myself in the dark. Even though it was only across the street, these rumors had made them afraid for my safety. Do you really believe they're real? I asked my father. I do, he answered. Are you really worried for me? My mother did not say anything, but this is to be expected. They thought I was a perfect target, but I still didn't believe it. They were worried about me, so they sent me off to live with my aunt, uncle, and cousin. They didn't live far, at least not anymore. They moved from their fancy home in gorgeous Howland City to a small little cabin in the woods. I never understood why, but I never really asked about it either. My parents felt I would be safer with them. Didn't want to leave, but every day I stayed only seemed to stress them out more. So I went to make them feel better. For the first few weeks, everything was fine. I barely left the house, barely went to town anymore, and when I did, I was always with someone, taking all the precautions to avoid becoming a victim of the butcher. Eh, but I still thought it was only a rumor, even if the number of deaths in our community increased. I never thought that I or someone I knew would be a victim. Then that thing happened to those two, and for the first time, I was worried. Shortly after that, my own parents disappeared. They weren't in the diner, nor could I contact them. Even the authorities couldn't figure it out. No one had seen them. It was as if they had suddenly vanished, as if they were killed off. I don't like to think about that possibility. Actually, well, there was also that other thing that happened. Maybe I should have told the authorities about it, or anyone for that matter, but I was too afraid of what might happen if I did. Your parents are safe. It's not creepy. Not creepy at all. Ah, I knew I would fall asleep if I sat down. Is it raining outside? It wasn't supposed to rain today. The light's out outside. Is Croven out there? Like, okay, this looks cute. I know that that's like the color of his hair, but it makes it look like little, like floppy ears, and that's adorable. I better go check. All right. Oh, it appears he is outside. So, what are you doing here? It's raining. You're out here. Where's Aunt and Uncle? And our last option is Proven. I finished dinner. Come inside. Let's go ahead and go and ask him why I mean, he's clearly smoking a ciggy, but like, I'm curious, is he going to be an agitatable type? Is he going, like, how nice is he?
I can see that it's raining, Mary. Put it, Mary. How many times do I have to tell you? They went to
All right. And Croven, I finished dinner. Come inside. It's spaghetti. I used your favorite sauce too.
Okay, I'll be in a second. Just let me put this out. All the food is whole.
All right. So we have a couple of options to say here. We're going to be very frank about it. I just wanted to take a seat in the living room, but
That's fine. I'm not complaining.
other than that, we didn't say much and dinner was quiet. I cleaned up most of it, but Croven helped a little bit. After that, he went to go sit in the living room. Once I finished cleaning the kitchen up, I joined him like usual. Normally, after dinner, when Croven and I sit here together, we do something fun. We play a game on our phones together, or we get out a board game, or we play cards. Talk about our days as something exciting happens. But that's when Aunt and Uncle were still. Croven's been in a pretty bad mood since. It's not as if I can blame him. I want to talk to him, but I don't really know if he's much in the mood to talk. What should we do here? We have another decision. We can either just go straight to bed or attempt conversation. I am nosy and I want to see what is going to be said if we attempt conversation because I did a little bit of looking into the game as it is, and this game does have 7 endings. So I would absolutely love to be able to get as many of them or all of them as we can. So being able to have all these different options that can persuade the way that the story plays out for us is I'm really excited to be able to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose attempt conversation. Crow, do you want to talk about it?
There's nothing to talk about.
I've still got my old therapist's number, you know. Croven,
Ain't there a reason she was your old one?
I know, but she was good at this kind of stuff. And I've been thinking that maybe.
Shut up, Mary. Just shut up already. Can't I be bitter over it? Why are you trying so hard to rush me into therapy, huh? Thought you knew about this shit better than anyone. Here you are. I'm not gonna stop being upset just because you miss me being all happy, smiley and shit. Can't you just stop trying to fucking talk to me about it? I'll get over it when I get over it. Maybe get your own life, and then you'll stop worrying so much over mine.
Sorry. I think I ended up making Croven more agitated trying to talk to him. Oh well. After a few more moments of awkward sitting, I went upstairs and headed to my bedroom. I didn't want to make Croven angrier than I had already. I brushed my teeth and got changed into my pajamas. I stretched out on what you could consider my bed. The room I have in the cabin is nice. It's not like my room back in my actual home, but I've stayed here so long, I've been able to decorate it a bit more to my liking. It's a pleasant room to stay in, even if it's not quite home. Of course, I don't normally sleep right away. I usually read a book or watch a movie on my laptop or lie awake thinking of every embarrassing thing that's ever happened in my life. But as of recent, I've picked up a different nighttime ritual, one that's nowhere near as pleasant. The text message I had received the days following my parents' disappearance. It was from a number I didn't recognize. Your parents are safe. it had said. I know I should have done something smart. I should have told somebody. But instead, I texted the number back and they responded to me. I've noticed that other than the first message, they usually don't reach out to me. It's me who keeps texting them, hoping to find out what's happening behind all this. Are you still awake?
I am awake whenever you want to talk.
Okay, so we have two options here. Are my parents still all right? Will you tell me who you are? We're gonna ask, will you tell me who you are?
That I cannot do. My identity must remain hidden.
Forever?
No, not forever,
Then why can't you just tell me who this is?
because it's not safe.
Why wouldn't it be safe?
You'll have to trust me on that.
I don't trust you at all. How did you even get my number?
Your parents gave it to me
Why would they do that?
because they care about you.
You must be lying to me. My parents wouldn't do something like that.
I'm sorry you don't know your parents as well as you think you do.
What does that mean? Seriously, you freak me out. I just want my parents back. Please don't drag this out. I just want them back home.
You should get some rest. It's late, isn't it? I'll talk to you tomorrow. I don't like to text for too long. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye. They suggested that I get some rest, but how do they expect me to do that? I had never felt more restless in my life, even asleep. I knew I wouldn't rest. When I woke up the next morning, Croven had already left for the day. But that wasn't a surprise. He had been staying out late and leaving super early ever since the incident. I think being home bothers him. I'm not surprised. Whenever I pass the diner, I too feel like not being there. It's not the same without mom and dad, after all. Despite this cabin being out in the middle of the woods, it really isn't all that hard to get back to Blackwood. Outside of our cabin is a faint dirt trail. It gets a bit twisty at some parts, but isn't too confusing. It takes about 15 minutes to walk down, but maybe 10 if you're fast. At the end of the trail, there's a fence, one with a slight gap in it. At and past that fence, there's a little community. It isn't big, a few trailers with a few people living all the way out here, far from anything that's, well, anything. But there's a road here and a bus that comes through. It runs through Blackwood. So whenever we need to leave, we take this bus. And then after the end of a short trip, you're in Blackwood. It's the city I grew up in, and I always really loved it. There's the library and the local stores, but my most favorite place to be is the Blackwood Cemetery. It's got lots of trees to read under, and it's the prettiest headstones I've ever seen. There's a Mausoleum too, though I've never been inside. Private Mausoleum, you know? I don't know who it belongs to. Anyways, I always try to leave flowers when I visit at least every so often, and I visit a lot. I like to think it helps them, you know, not feel lonely. And then after having spent my day in Blackwood, I come back home the same way I left. But I always make sure no one sees the way I come back home, just in case, you know? Despite the recent events, I too leave the cabin more than ever now. Proven is rarely home, and I don't like being here alone. I know I'm just being paranoid, but I don't like the thought that maybe the butcher could find me out here all alone, even if that's the whole reason I'm here in the first place. So I go out a lot now. I feel more comfortable surrounded by lots of people. Despite how things may seem, I always preferred to be around people anyways. That's one reason why I like to go to the cemetery so often. There's always people there, even if you can't see them. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Croven's gone, and the bus I take out into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? We have three options. We have the library, the cafe, or the cemetery. So let's give the library a go. I decided to go to the library. There's nothing quite like a good book. My favorite kind of books are mysteries. Not necessarily murder mysteries, but mysteries in general. In fact, I kind of prefer it when the mysteries don't involve anyone dying. There's a lot less tension there, you know? But maybe I'm just too soft. I also quite enjoy manga, especially the shoujo kind. Feel almost embarrassed to like them, but feel that they're cute and nice. And I like seeing characters fall in love. Yeah, Sojo. Maybe that's what I'll try to find at the library today. I stepped into the library and began to make my way over to my favorite spot. A tucked away corner in the library right by a single window. Sometimes I'd spend an entire day in that corner just reading. I've even managed to finish entire books without leaving the library. I've looked forward to doing something like that again today, but when I got to my favorite spot, I noticed a man was already sitting there. I was surprised because usually this library was pretty empty. But this man, he's familiar. I've met him before.
Oh, my apologies. Did I take your seat? Oh, it's you, Mary. Mary Anta, yes?
Ah, that's right. I remember you from the funeral, right?
Indeed. Do you remember my name?
Reginald?
That's right. The pleasure to see you here. I was hoping I'd run into you again one day.
Oh,
I hope that doesn't come off weird. You were just such a pleasant person to be around. You really brought life into the funeral. Haha.
oh, really? Uh, Thank you, I think.
So what brings you to the library today?
Oh, well, I didn't really have plans, so I thought I'd come check out a book or something.
Likewise, what kind of book were you interested in checking out?
Be honest or lie? We're gonna be honest. I'm, actually here to look for a shoujo manga.
A shoujo manga? What's that?
It's like, do you know what a manga is?
I have an idea, but I can't say I've ever read one myself.
Well, it's like one of those, but it usually centers around the romance between two main characters, and sometimes they're like friends or rivals. But I really like the comedy ones because you get a cute joke mixed into the romance. But sometimes the drama ones are really cute too, and they can get really intense. And, sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not good at explaining things.
No worries. I think you did a good job. A shoujo sounds interesting. Perhaps I'll check one out myself later. I'm trying to be more open to new things after all.
Anyways, what are you here to read?
Me? I'm reading Manslaughter on the Disorient Locomotive.
Oh, I've been meaning to read that one too.
Do you want it then?
What? Oh, no, no, that's okay. Please take your time. Just, if you wouldn't mind, would you tell me when you're done with it? You know, so that I could maybe read it after?
I'm fine with that, though I already gotten pretty far in. I don't think I'll be finished by today. You have a cell phone, yes? Would it be alright if I have your number? That way I can notify you as soon as I'm finished? And, well, I'd like to try to be friends too, if that's alright.
Oh, really? I mean, yeah, of course. Reginald and I exchanged phone numbers. I was shocked he even remembered me, but I had considered meeting him again a pleasant surprise, and one I really appreciated. After our exchange, I picked out a shoujo book from one of the shelves and began to read in one of the other spots in the library. I ended up liking it so much I looked for other books and bought two or three home with me to read later. After I came home, had dinner, and cleaned the kitchen up, I began my usual nighttime routine. I got changed into pajamas, brushed my teeth, and sat on my bed and texted whoever they are. Hi, it's me again. Are you there?
Yes.
You're still not going to tell me anything, are you?
No.
Can I ask you something even if you won't give me an honest answer anyways?
Okay.
Are you the Blackwood Butcher?
Would I tell you if I was? Are you afraid for their safety?
Of course. Why wouldn't I be?
I see.
So we have two options here. We can either ask, should I be afraid for my own safety, or why do you have them? Um, I am curious what he'll say if we ask if we are safe.
Who am I to tell you what you should and shouldn't be afraid of? Your fears are your own to judge.
You're way too vague. Why'd you even contact me to begin with?
I thought you'd like to know about your parents. I'm only trying my best to keep you happy.
You think I'm happy?
Maybe not now, but you will be. I have to go now. Goodbye.
Goodbye. After another frustrating and unsettling night of text messages, I got under the covers and tried my best to sleep. It wasn't easy and I had a lot of difficulty trying. I don't remember exactly when, but eventually I was able to sleep, even if not peacefully. Dad? Yes, sweetheart? Um, yes. Is something wrong? Mama told me that Uncle Ray died. Did she now? Are we gonna go see him? No, no. You don't need to worry about that. I don't? But listen, Mary. Normally when someone passes, you hold a funeral for them, right? Yeah. The thing about funerals, though, is that they're for people who are worth remembering. Damn. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Crovan's gone and the bus I take out into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go to today? We went to the library yesterday. Let's go to the cafe. I decided to go to the new cafe that opened up. Planet Dollars is a popular coffee chain, but we've never had one in this town. Well, until now, that is. I've always wanted to go to one just to try it, you know? Although, I don't actually like coffee. But still, I could at least see what they had, right? When I go to the cafe, it was already packed. I thought since it had already been around for a few weeks, some of the hype surrounding it would have died down. And I guess not, seeing how noisy and crowded it was. Still, at least it was something different from usual. As I said, I'm not particularly fond of coffee, and since I had a light breakfast anyways, I decided to treat myself with a muffin. A chocolate muffin, because sweet foods are the best. However, I found myself in a bit of a pinch when I tried to look for some place to sit down. It seemed as though everyone's seats were already taken. And I really didn't want to and eat at the same time. Luckily, though, I was able to find an empty seat. The girl around my age with the most spectacular eyebrows was diligently working on her laptop with an empty seat across from her. I figured she must be writing an essay for college or something. Coffee shops are popular with people in college, or so I hear. Seeing as this was the only seat left, I asked her, "Excuse me, may I sit here?" She didn't verbally answer me. Rather, she glanced over at me, rolled her eyes, and nodded to the empty chair. I tried to look apologetic as I sat. Thank you. All right, so what are you working on?
Sorry, can't you shut up for a second? I'm trying to concentrate.
Oh, sorry. Stay quiet. We will tell her.
Thanks. So you're interested in what I'm doing here?
Well, yeah, I guess. You seem to be very focused after all.
As focused as I can be. What's your name?
Me? I'm Mary.
Twyla. Nice to meet you. Anyways, I'm working on a report.
A report, like for school?
No. Have you noticed something odd going in town recently?
Something odd?
I'm not surprised if you haven't heard about it. It's like the police are trying to dull suspicions or just arrest potential suspects so everyone can feel safe.
Oh, are you talking about the killing rumors? The Blackwood Butcher, right?
Don't say it so loud, but yes. How did you know?
Oh, well, uh, I've been hearing the rumors for a while now, and actually, my aunt and uncle died pretty recently. They were, killed.
Really? Uh-huh. That's actually pretty. How did they die?
Oh, I didn't, I don't know. No one really told me, but the circumstances were strange. Like, they didn't die naturally. There was definitely someone else involved. At least that's what I've been told.
Uh-huh. Interesting. You know, maybe you can help me with this report and, some other stuff.
Oh, I can't?
Yeah, if you're okay with that, of course.
Oh, yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, having a killer around is bad, so if I can help, like, raise awareness or something. I mean, like, yes, I'd like to help you.
Thanks. This'll really put me ahead. I have to go. Actually, I'm running late for something. Here, give me your phone number. I'm not entirely sure I'll need your help, but I'd rather have a way to contact you just in case.
Oh, yeah, of course. Twyla and I exchanged phone numbers. After she packed up her laptop and was picked up by a car outside, come to think of it, I didn't actually see her drink any coffee or order any food. I guess maybe she finished before I got there. I don't know why she would choose such a noisy place to work, though. After spending my day looking in some nearby stores, I went home pretty tired. I ate leftovers for dinner and yawned more than once as I got changed into pajamas. I plopped myself onto my bed and pulled out my phone, ready to continue the nightly conversation. You're there, right?
Of course I am.
I don't know why I keep contacting you. I guess I'm just afraid if I don't, you'll disappear or something.
It's unlikely.
I know you won't tell me where my parents are, but can you at least tell me why you took them?
No.
Why not?
I don't know who could be seeing these messages.
Are you worried about being traced?
Possibly. I may even change phones from time to time, just to be careful, but you'll know it's me.
I don't know if that should be comforting or not. I really don't see how this works. How am I supposed to trust you? Aren't someone dangerous if you don't give me any info to go off of? Especially when I haven't even heard from my parents.
Goodbye, Mary. Sleep well.
I felt sick that night as I tried to go to sleep, tossed and turned so many times, and yet I was still too tired to get up and try something different. I don't remember when, but eventually I was able to fall asleep. I didn't sleep very well, though. I'm not going back out there. Y- you, you saw how they were looking at me. I can't do it. I can't. I'm sorry. I just, maybe it's better if I don't anymore. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Groven's gone, and the bus I took out into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go to today? The only place we haven't been to yet is the cemetery, so let's go there. I went to my favorite place, the cemetery. The cemetery is pretty much on the same block as my family's restaurant. Right next to it, in fact. All you have to do is cross the street. It's on the same side of the road. I think my parents chose this location because it's good for business. That's what Mom told me, anyways. People are usually hungry after a funeral. Crying really takes a lot out of you, after all. I was always glad to live there because I really loved visiting the cemetery. I like to walk down the rows and see who got flowers that day. That's what I do most days. Sometimes I'll pick my own flowers just to leave on graves that look like they've been forgotten about. I'm actually quite known for the cemetery. Some people have begun to use a nickname for me, though I don't know how many of them even know what I look like. When I arrived at the cemetery gates, however, I was surprised to see Croven standing there with what looked like a new friend. Croven?
Mary? Ugh, did you follow me?
Huh? No, I didn't. You know I always come here.
Yeah, but that's usually not until later. Why are you here so early?
I mean, it's not as if I had anything better to do.
Well, do you have to be here right now? I'm kinda on a date.
Oh, this is a date?
I mean, it can be if you want it to be.
I'll think about it. Okay, so who's your friend? How was I supposed to know you'd be here? Well, I'm nosy. Who's your friend?
Chick, this is Basilisk. I met him at the arcade.
Yo,
Sorry, Mary, but can you please go? I really just don't have the energy for this right now.
yeah, okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. I'll see you later.
Later.
Some other life, Mary. I left Groven alone. I didn't want to interrupt his little date or whatever, especially since I didn't want to make him more mad at me. However, I wasn't going to let him stop me from going into the cemetery. I continued on past the gates and stepped inside. It seemed emptier than usual. It didn't look like any funerals were being held today. Would it be mean of me to wish there was? Yeah, it probably would be. Forget I said anything like that. It was a really awful thing to say. When nighttime rolled around, I headed back home. I slipped into my pajamas and headed to bed almost immediately. Of course, though, I couldn't sleep right away. I had someone I needed to talk to first. Good evening again.
Good evening.
May I ask you something?
You always do.
How did you know my name is Mary?
I've always known.
Huh?
I've always known what your name is.
Have we met before?
If we did, you probably wouldn't remember.
So we did meet.
Take the if as a maybe. We may have met before. Would it But would it make any difference if you didn't remember me? It would be as if we were meeting for the first time.
That's weird. I'm uncomfortable. Any updates on my parents?
They're fine.
Will I ever see them again?
Yes, because I'm coming to get you too. I just need more hot. Good night, Mary.
I went to sleep feeling pretty shaken that night. I tried to not think about it. I'm surprised I was able to get any sleep at all. I'm surprised I didn't have any nightmares either. Uncle Cross? Yeah, Mary? Uncle Cross, can I ask you a question? Sure thing, kiddo. Shoot, how'd you lose your eye? Ah, Mary? It's fine. I don't mind. I lost my eye in war. You were in war, Uncle Cross? I was. I won't get into the specifics of it, but it was important to me that I protect my family in any way I could. Do you miss it? My eyeball? Yeah. You know something? Not as much as I thought I would. I think I would miss you a bunch more. Gonna be all for today, guys. That was pretty intense. I don't know why she's dealing with half of the stuff that she's dealing with, other than mourning, trauma. I don't know, a lot of different things. But she's coming across a lot of creepy people. We have a lot of creepy situations ahead of us. That's all I've got to say. I sure hope that you guys had fun hanging out, though. If you guys did happen to like today's video, go ahead and leave a like to let me know you enjoyed. Subscribe if you'd like to become part of the Titsy Tat Army. And if you'd never like to miss a post, push that bell icon. Now, you spread positive vibes. I'll spread positive vibes. Until next time, I hope you have a perfectly wonderful day. Bye.